Good morning, Watford. Nicole here, coming at you. I will not have music today, so please follow along and let's have some fun. Remember to go at your own pace and take breaks as you need to. All right, let's get started. We're going to start off with just a march. And let's add in some piano fingers. And back to that march. Let's add in some skipping. So you can do both feet or you can step as you need to. Both feet is a little bit more challenging. And reverse it. And let's stretch it out to the side. And back to that march. And now we're going to do a one-sided jack. So just starting on one side, any shoulder impairments, only go to that shoulder height. If you're feeling good, go all the way up. And back to that march, just for a couple. And now we're going to switch over to the other side. Again, any shoulder impairments, only to that shoulder height. If you're feeling good, go all the way up. All right, now we're going to do some punching. Nice strong arms. And last one, we're going to go into a hook. Two more. And last one. Now into uppercut. Three more. And last one. All right, back to that march. And let's do fast speed. Go, go, go. And take a break. Grab a drink if you need it. And we're going to grab our bands. We're going to start off by wrapping our bands around our legs. Just nice and tight. And you can just crisscross it. I'm going to start off with a hip opener. So starting on our right side, like we're stepping over a big, huge boulder or a big dog. We're going to lift that foot up and over, set it down, and then bring it back in. So that's one. And we got four more. 3, 2, and last one. And let's switch over to the left side now. Up and over, and bring it back in. We've got 3 more. 2, and last one. Good job. All right, you can release that band from around your legs. And we're going to put it underneath our feet. And just holding it with our right hand, we're going to lock our elbow into our rib cage. And starting off with a bicep curl, bringing that hand up towards our shoulder. Remembering to breathe, engaging that abdominals for that extra support there. And we've got 2 more on this side. Last one. All right, next exercise, we're going to have a slight bend in that elbow. Palm is facing down, and we are just going to kind of lift that elbow up to shoulder height. If you can get there, if that causes too much pain, by all means, listen to your own body and don't overextend yourself. I got 3 more. 2, and last one. Good job. All right, I'm going to move to the sides just so you can see my arm a little bit better. I'm going to grab my band right down low towards my foot, and then I'm sitting up nice and tall, and I'm just pushing that shoulder back, kind of activating those arm muscles. And we've got 2 more of these. Last one. Good job. Right. Moving back to the main here, and we're going to switch over to the left side. So starting off again with those bicep curls, we've got our band nice and tight, elbow locked into that rib cage, and bringing the palm up to the shoulder. And 2 more of these bicep curls. Last one. Good job. And palm down, slight bend in that elbow, and just coming up to the side. And 2 more of these guys. And last one, good job. Again, I'm just twisting to the side so you can see my arm better. You don't have to do that. So keeping that band underneath our feet, grabbing it low by our foot, sitting up nice and tall, and pushing that arm back. Got 4 more of these. 3, 2, and last one. All right. Now we are going to take that band and we are going to tie it in a lovely little bow around our mid-thigh. Just adds a little bit of extra restraint. And then we're going to safely come to a stand. And we've got our chairs behind us for support. We're going to start off with I'm going to start on the left side here. We're going to start off with soccer kick. So we're going to flex our foot. We've got a slight bend in that standing leg, and yeah, we're just going to kick it out like we're kicking a soccer ball across. That chair's there for support. If you need that extra support for your balance, remembering to breathe. And we have 2 more. Last one. All right, let's just do a knee up. So we're going to just hold that knee out in front, just kind of at a 90-degree angle. This is a very small move, so we're just doing a little pump, a little pulse. And last one. Good job. All right, give that standing leg a shake. We'll go into the next one. So again, a nice bend in that standing leg, and we're just going to do a straight kick out to the side. And 2 more. Last one. Good job. All right, next is the hamstring curl. So we're going to do that with the left leg. Again, standing leg has a nice bend. We're going to put that left knee at a 90-degree angle. And again, another small move. We're just kicking that heel up towards our bum. Small little move. Works the back of our upper thigh though, the hamstring. And last one. Good job. My legs are burning. All right, over to the right side now. So we're going to again start off with those soccer kicks. Sorry, I'm having music issues. And we're doing a soccer kick. So flexing that foot. Four more. 3, 2, and last one. All right, that knee up now, just that small movement. And last one, good job. All right, shake out that standing leg for a second. And going into those straight leg kicks out to the side, the lateral kicks. And 2 more of these. Last one, good job. Last exercise here, just that hamstring curl, so slight bend in the right standing leg, and it's bringing that, the left standing leg, bringing that right knee up to a 90, and then it's just that small little heel kick. And we got 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Good job. Let's take a seat back in our chairs. And releasing our bands. All right, we'll do a little bit more arm work. So we're going to put those bands underneath of our armpits. And we're going to start off with just a chest press. So we're just pushing out straight. And we have 2 more of these. Last one. All right, let's bring our hands out front and we're just going to flutter like we're kicking. And 2 more. Last one. Good job. All right, reconvene. Now we're going to have our palms up as we go straight out and fluttering. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. All right, sitting back in our chairs a little bit. We're going to go into our goal posts and bringing our forearms together. And 2 more, we're almost done. Last one, good job. All right, let's drop those bands down. Sorry, before we fully drop them, we're going to do 1 more, and then we're going to go to a stand. So we're going to start off with our heels. Heels on the ground, toes to the ceiling. The lower you grab the band, the more resistance. Going to sit up nice and tall, and this is just a row. So we're just rowing. We're keeping our elbows towards our rib cage, nice and tight. We've got 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good job. Let's bring those bands in and set them aside. Grab a drink if you need it. All right, we're going to come to a stand. Going to the back of our chairs for some calf raises. So we're just going to start off with just a standard calf raise. That chair's there for support if you need it. Just going up on the tippy toes and back down. And 2 more of these ones, standard. Last one. All right. Now we're going to put our heels together. Oops. My balance is off this afternoon. And going up on our tippy toes. Two more of these, guys. And last one. Good job. Bringing our toes together now. Last one, I promise. And up on our tippy toes. Two more. And the last one. Good job. Let's just give those calves a quick stretch. And just pushing that back heel into the ground. You can forward fold a little bit more to feel that stretch. And switch over to the other side. Pushing that back heel into the ground. The more you lean forward, the more of the stretch you get as well. All right, let's get some abdominals done, and then we'll probably go into a stretch here, I'm thinking. All right, so first with the abdominals, let's pick up our bands again. We're going to put that band behind our chairs. And kind of keeping everything all nice and locked in and tight. We are going to just fold forward, exhaling as we go down towards our, bring our chest to our knees, and inhaling as we come back up. Just nice and slow and controlled. I should be able to see everyone's foreheads if I was there. Keeping our chin away from our chest. me do 5 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good job. Let's release those bands off to the side again. Now we're just going to envision that we have a weight or a ball in our hands, and we're just going to do a simple little waist twist. It's not a big move. Our lower body is staying stationary. That twist is coming from the waist. Let's do 3 more. 2, and last one. Good job. All right, let's do our opposite elbow to the knee. So starting with my right elbow and my left knee and crunching up. Exhaling as we come together. Five more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Now switch over to the other side. Four more. And last one. Good job. All right, leaning or coming towards the front of our chairs. I'm gonna just sitting to the side so you guys can see me. So sitting on kind of at the edge of our chair, feet flat on the floor. As much as you can try to keep them locked into the floor, that is engaging your abdominals more. And we're just going to go back and inhaling as we come back up. And we've got 5 more, guys. We're almost there. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good job. All right, one last exercise, and then we will move on to some stretches. So this one is just like a little side bend. We're trying to keep our bums on the chair as solidly as possible, and then we are just alternating sides, like we dropped a chocolate bar or the remote or a piece of mail. 5 5 more on either side. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good job. All right, we're going to come up to a stand, starting off with our bigger muscle groups first. We're going to start off with our calf or quad stretch, sorry. So grabbing onto the top of our foot, and that knee as close to the other knee as possible, and always pointed down. You can also use your pant leg, your band, your chair, or there is a seated position for this as well. So I can show that with the next leg. All right, and let's drop that foot forward, heel to the ground, toes to the ceiling, and just pulsing. And last one coming up. All right, here's the variation of the quad stretch. So you can just go down like this in the chair. You can still grab onto that heel if you like, the top of that foot, and holding. All right, coming back up to stretch out that hamstring. And last one, good job. And let's stretch out those calves again, so pushing that back heel into the ground. And switch to the other side. Okay, let's go down into a forward fold. It's nice flat back, using that chair for support. And let's widen out that stance, coming down into a squat. And just holding down in that squat for now. And now let's straighten out that right leg, leaning over to the left. And now straighten out the left and lean over to the right. And bringing those heels in, slowly coming back up. And let's roll out the shoulders. And rolling the shoulders forward. Okay, bringing the arms wide, chin to the chest. Nice big breath here. And again. All right, interlocking the hands behind our back and just giving them a slight little lift. And now let's push those arms forward, putting a bit of a curve in our spine. And slowly coming back up. Let's stretch out our delts. And triceps, giving it a little bit of a push back. And switch over. All right, so we're going to stretch out our back. So we're going to cross our legs over and nice and tall before we twist, opposite elbow to the knee. And coming back to center, let's bring that leg on top of the other, or that foot on top of the other leg, flexing that foot. We can put some pressure on the mid thigh of that leg that's up. We can also forward fold to feel that stretch a little bit more. And sitting up, dropping that leg. Let's cross over the other side. Again, nice and tall before we twist. Opposite elbow to the knee. And unfurling ourselves, bringing that foot on top of the other leg, flexing that foot. Maybe that's enough of a stretch for you, just like that. Again, you can add in more pressure though if you like, and that forward fold, just challenging your stretching capabilities. And sitting back up, let's drop that foot kind of just around. Bring it into our knee or to our chest and give it a hug. Rolling out those ankles and reverse the direction. And switch over to the other side. And reverse it. All right, let's stretch out our forearms. Include your thumb. And push it down in front. And palm out. Again, include that thumb. And other side, include that thumb. Push it down. And palm out. Again, include that thumb. And let's just do some wrist rotations. And reverse it. And that is all that I have for you today, Watford. I hope that everybody has a great day, and I hope that we see you all soon. We'll see you soon.